Something that we had chatted about on our call before we recorded here was looking at the workday as a workout, in a sense.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
For sure. So if we're using this analogy of emotional intelligence being a muscle that you can grow, this is where our concept of workplace emotional intelligence came in. So when we look at the mission statement and the purpose of Culturesmith, we say it is to have every single person that we work with show up better at home, having leveraged emotional intelligence while at work. Because when we enter the workplace, we're surrounded by a lot of really, really smart people, and we're solving really, really cool problems. And so to leverage that, to use that as a workout so that we're peaking at 5, 6 o'clock when we get home, as opposed to being in an environment or not having the tools so that ego depletion takes over and we become more and more burnt out over the course of the day. Because when that happens and we walk through the door at the end of the night, our guard is down, and we will take it out on those that we are closest to because we think we can. And it just creates a huge, a vicious cycle. In fact, the app that we're developing, we're calling Spiral for that very reason, is we're trying to disrupt that downward spiral that is created.
Perfect name.
Yeah, thank you. And it comes back to, I was giving a talk a few weeks ago leading up to the Super Bowl on how the NFL gets it right. Because if you think of the average NFL player is paid to practice more than they're paid to play, right? They play 16 games a year, but there's a half a dozen practices for every game. And so the question I put to the crowd is, are you being paid to practice as much as you're being paid to play? And everybody said no. I said, well, you are if you recognize that game day isn't at work. Game day is when you walk through the door at night. And so if you actually treat the workplace as the full contact padded practice that it's meant to be, and go through the reps and use emotional intelligence and the techniques that you can learn to solve really, really cool problems at work, the best version of you, the well-practiced version of you, could be the one walking through the door at the end of the day. And that's really what we're trying to do.